All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the rebranding of our YouTube channel. Welcome to Football is a Religion. For those of y'all that love football so much, that follow football, that are football players, that aspire to become footballers, or that aspire to be part of the footballing community, welcome to Football is a Religion. Feel free. Please join. Please subscribe. Please like, share. And welcome, man. Let's grow this community together, man. Igama lami uBube Simphathi Umhlaba. Check me out on Instagram as Bube Simphathi Umhlaba. Check me out on Twitter as Bubesi_11. Also on TikTok, Bubesi the Conqueror. Welcome to Football is a Religion, man. Welcome. Today we're going to be discussing the latest results from the Dstv Premiership so far. We saw a lot of cracking games. A lot of goals were scored, as well as we saw shocking results as well. There were results that were not so shocking, but then there's a lot of talking points, man. There's a lot of talking points. Indeed, there's a lot of talking points. The start is, obviously, we head to Pretoria at the TUT Stadium. That's the temporary home ground of SuperSport United. They took on Royal AM on Thursday, the 26th of October. It was a game between SuperSport United and Royal AM at the TUT Stadium. So, coming into this game, SuperSport made 5 changes. Coming into this one from the team that was humiliated by Rise and Shine in the Carling Knockout Cup, including Royal AM as well. They made a couple of changes coming into the game, but we do remember that Royal AM don't really have a lot of players. They are now forced to use players that come from the academy due to the fact that they've been given a transfer ban from FIFA following that dispute between them and Samir Nurkovic, which resulted in them having to settle an agreement, having to settle a 1.5 million rand payment to the former Kaizer Chiefs and Royal AM striker, who's now currently on the books of TS Galaxy. So that has cost Royal AM dearly, and you can see it's also affecting their performance very much so. It's also affecting their season because we have seen them going on a poor string of results this season. So the game finished 3-1. Matsatsansa Pitori winning by 3-1 thanks to a hat-trick by the brilliant, one of the greatest strikers to have ever graced the PSL, Bradley Grobler. He got the first hat-trick of the season. This is the first hat-trick of the season after as many games in the PSL. I mean, it just shows that I think right now we need to also focus more on just the positive, focus more on not diving too much into the negative. I understand the fact that our league is not really as competitive as it used to be, but it's quite it's very ironic how only one hat-trick has been scored so far this season. Perhaps, would you say, is it because strikers are not too clinical? Maybe they're not getting too much service? We don't know, man. We just don't know, because that's what we see most of the time. Most strikers are not too clinical. But Bradley Grobler, over the years, he has shown how clinical he is. Alongside Peter Shalulile of Mamelodi Sundowns. Very clinical, 2 clinical forwards, and it seems like strikers that are the forward, as well as Zakhele Lepasa. Remember, Zakhele Lepasa did score a hat-trick. He scored in the MTN 8. You understand? That hat-trick came in the MTN 8. So this was perhaps the second hat-trick of the season in South African football across all competitions, although Bradley Grobler scored the first hat-trick in the league so far this season. This was a league hat-trick. So kudos to Bradley Grobler. And he did open his account in the 12th minute thanks to a brilliant cross by SuperSport right back Keegan Johannes, who found him perfectly, and Bradley Grobler just simple tapping, clinical finish to give them a 1-goal lead. From that point onwards, SuperSport went dominant. They were very dominant. They dominated possession. They created so many chances. They created so many openings, although they didn't capitalize. We saw them hit the post a couple of times. We saw goalkeeper Nyame make a couple of saves. So it was only a matter of time that if SuperSport were not to capitalize on those opportunities, they were going to be punished. And that's exactly what we saw in the second half. They were eventually punished for not taking their chances. Uh, Thanks to Royal AM right back Zugile Mkhize, who pounced on from a rebounded effort. His first effort was saved by goalkeeper Ricardo Goss, and then from a rebounded effort, he headed the ball into the back of the net to give Royal AM the equalizer and a glimmer of hope of at least securing some points, securing something away from home. But it wasn't to be, as Bradley Grobler got his brace in the 76th minute, thanks to a great headed assist by Terence Jukamanja. This came after goalkeeper Royal AM goalkeeper Nyame made a horror error, which was punished by SuperSport, and Bradley Grobler with a simple headed tap in, made it 2-1 in the 76th minute. Goalkeeper Nyame was caught in no man's land there. You hardly ever expect that from him. It seems like this current season across the globe, it seems to be a season of goalkeeper horror error from goalkeepers. Because we see with Chelsea goalkeeper Robert Sanchez, he has made a couple of mistakes that have cost Chelsea dearly. We've seen it with goalkeeper Brandon Peterson at Kaizer Chiefs. We've seen it with Onana at Manchester United. We've also now seen it with Nyame. So it seems like goalkeepers are making a lot of errors this season. It seems like to be that kind of a season for a lot of goalkeepers worldwide. And then Bradley Grobler did get his hat-trick after neat play between Lyle Lacay and Terence Jukamanja, setting him up for the hat-trick. Brilliant hat-trick, and he didn't even celebrate. But yeah, it was, wow, man. It was just one of those performances from Bradley Grobler, solidifying his name in the history of the PSL, man. I mean, remember right now he just was part of the Hall of Fame. I would call it the Hall of Fame of the number of players that have scored a century of goals in South African football. So he joins that class. He joined that class last season, and wow, man, he's just solidifying that. He's just solidifying that and showing that he's a great forward. He knows how to find his way at the back of the net, and for a fact that if you're willing to give him the service, if you're willing to supply him with with quality crosses, with quality balls, and play together with him, feed him and feed off him as a team, you are guaranteed goals, and a lot of them, plenty of goals. And this win does at least help SuperSport get their season back on track, because it sees them move to remain third on the table. They only just remain 1 point adrift from second place Golden Arrows, as well as 3 points adrift. I think it's 3 or 4 points adrift of Mamelodi Sundowns, who are at the top of the table with the game in hand, due to the fact that they've got continental commitments in the African Football League. So yeah, that's just the story of the day. And that, guess what? Royal AM seems to be one of those teams that Bradley Grobler likes scoring against. That was his 5th goal against Royal AM in 3 games. 5 goals in 3 games against Royal AM. As well as the fact that on the side of Royal AM, this is their 5th defeat of the season. Their 5th league defeat of the season. As well as now, they're also winless in 5 games across all competitions. So their winless run does stretch to 5 games across all competitions. Remember, they've also been knocked out in the Carling Knockout Cup. So, yeah, man, it's been a pretty woeful season for the Durban-based side. But we hope with time that they will get their feet. They will get their season back on track. And we have also seen that we've heard from some of our sources saying that Clinton Larson has been linked with the post of being the head coach of Royal AM, taking over from John Maduka, who he did have a decent first season with Royal AM, as he led them to 3rd position. But currently, right now, it doesn't seem that that momentum is not there with them at all. You understand? Because results haven't been coming their way, and we hope with time that results will start to show. But I think that everything has to just change. Their performance, think the players also that are there, they need to also step up. They need to also work more on their defensive line. They need to also work on their midfield because they give too much balls away. They give too much possession. When they've got possession, they don't make use of the ball. They really don't make use of the ball at all. They don't. And which is something that they really need to address and they really need to work on quite often. Yeah. Well, going into the next game was on Friday, the 27th of October. The 27th of October, which was my birthday. Just turned 23 on a Friday, the 27th of October, which was my birthday. The game between Orlando Pirates and informed Polokwane City at Orlando Stadium. Oh, well, we saw Kumvudi, the brilliant Congolese midfielder, making his first start of the season. We also saw Thembinkosi Lodge coming into the squad as well. We also saw Evidence Mahopa starting ahead of Clement Erasmus. Yeah, man, we did see a couple of changes also for Polokwane City as well. But then, yeah, it was a quite great game to watch, to be honest. Orlando Pirates were certainly the dominant team in the first half, but if you look quite closely at the first half, it was end-to-end stuff, irregardless of the fact that Polokwane City didn't have much of the ball, but they still were able to create an opening for themselves. Even when they had the ball, they created many chances. In the first half, they created great chances. We saw Ndumiso Mapena finding himself in spaces. His shot was just dragged wide. He just needed to find the target in order to find the back of the net. I think that was their best opportunity of the game. And what is even crazy about that was just at the time, before that opportunity that Polokwane City had, Orlando Pirates had an opening. Kimvudi's shot was saved. You understand? Eventually, Orlando Pirates' dominance would come to fruition as a great combination play by Miguel Tim, slotting a great through pass to Thembinkosi Lodge, who set up the goal for Patrick Masangwani, who put Orlando Pirates in the lead. That was a great goal, great team effort, great pass by Miguel Team, as well as a great run by Thembinkosi Lodge, great cutback, and as well as what a clinical finish by the midfielder. I think also looking at Miguel Team's performance, he found himself in great positions where he could have also taken a shot himself. But because you understand he's unselfish, he also wants to play with his teammates. He's not a natural goal scorer, but there are times where he found himself in a great position where he could have just taken a shot by himself, perhaps even found the back of the net, which perhaps I wouldn't say it did cost the team, but I think he needs to be more adventurous also as a player. He's a great midfielder. He knows how to hold the ball very well. He knows how to play his teammates. He knows how to create those defense splitting passes. He knows how to just keep the structure of the team solid. Because you got to understand, that's the type of player that you need in the midfield. Because once you have those kind of players in the midfield, you guaranteed to win any game of football. Remember, football matches are won in the midfield. You understand? That's why you need to have a solid midfield. On the part of Miguel Team, I think he needs to be more of a risk taker as well. He needs to be more adventurous. He needs to be more adventurous, and at least once he finds himself in those in those crucial positions, he must just take a shot and not be afraid. Just take a shot. It might find the back of the net, because he found himself in great positions quite often where he was in acres of space. But because obviously, which is good, which is commendable for the fact that he's unselfish as a team player, but he was in much more of a better position to actually take a shot and find the back of the net. I think it was also the mistake that the Orlando Pirates coach made in the second half was replacing the Congolese, Kumvudi. He by far had a great game. He had a great game. Great game. He did. Quality player. Quality. He's got so much quality. Skill is there. The pace is there. He's got the ability to run at defenders, take on defenders. Great dribbling ability. He almost found the back of the net in the first half, only to find his shot saved. But he's a great player. Great player. But guess what? On the side of Polokwane City, wow, Mashikenya. What a player. What a player. I mean, even the coach sang so much praises for him in the post-match interview. What a player. And to be honest, for the fact that Orlando Pirates were not taking their chances against a solid Polokwane City team, it was inevitable that Polokwane City were going to find the equalizer. It was inevitable that Polokwane City were going to find the equalizer. And eventually they did. Through Mashikenya. Wonderful take and goal. Wow. Wonderful take and goal. I mean, that's a Bloemfontein Celtic Academy graduate. Wonderful player, man. He's a marvel to watch. To be honest, he is. And I agree with the coach. He's a marvel to watch. I mean, it would have been a huge blow for Polokwane City to have lost him in the first half. Remember, he had that injury scare in the first half. But, all thanks to God, at least he was able to continue playing. And, yeah, man. What a marvel to watch, because had he been injured, it would have been a huge loss for Rise and Shine. It would have been a huge loss for Rise and Shine. And bear in mind, even in the first half, remember, going back to the first half, Hlaisi Chauke had a great opportunity, but it was a great save by goalkeeper Melusi Buthelezi. Wow, what a brilliant save from the goalkeeper. Remember, Sipho Chaina is still out. You understand? And he was watching from the stands. Great save by Melusi Buthelezi. Great save. I think that was the save of the game. That was the save of the game. Great save. Great save. You understand? Great save. Even in the second half, Dion Hotto had a great opportunity, only to drag his shot very wide. But yeah, great save. And great game to watch, great game of football. I think that a draw was a fair result, but I still really think there should have been more goals. Both teams should have just been more clinical with their opportunities, especially on the path of Orlando Pirates, man. They had so many opportunities. Even Polokwane City themselves, I think 3 points was up for grabs in this game. 3 points was up for grabs. Both teams just had to capitalize on their opportunities. And it's something they didn't do. It's something they really need to work on quite often. They need to work on it. Be more clinical. Perhaps, I guess, Orlando Pirates, maybe they should just wait. Maybe, I guess, maybe we think maybe Zakhele Lepasa should just recover, so that they can now start banging the goals, get the goals, the much needed goals, so that they can get their league season back on track. And we saw also Ratomo returning as well. He will be part of the squad, the Orlando Pirates squad that does travel to Cape Town. In other news, we also heard that Kaizer Chiefs will be playing in an empty stadium when they take on Cape Town Spurs. Deservedly so. I hope this will also serve as motivation for the players to start really performing. Because I think they're taking the fans for granted. I think the fans are being taken for granted. I think the fans really deserve way more. Because they stand by the team quite often, through thick and thin. But it seems like the players are not willing to put in the effort. You understand? Hopefully this will motivate the players more. Motivate them to perform. And it will teach the club a lesson as well. So, Saturday, the 28th of October, we did see some other games. We saw Kaizer Chiefs travel to Durban to take on Informed Golden Arrows at the Mpumalanga Stadium in Hammersdale. Just like about, 20 kilometers west of Durban. You understand? Just 20 kilometers outside Durban. You understand? So it's not very far from the city of Durban. I don't know why Golden Arrows. I think the reason why Golden Arrows are not using the Kingswell Tini Stadium is because Richards Bay FC is still using that home ground. because of the fact that their stadium, they still have a dispute with the Mhlathuze municipality in terms of them using their home ground back in Richards Bay. So that's why they're using the Kings Zwelithini Stadium, and that's the reason why Golden Arrows cannot utilize that stadium, you know. But there's so many other stadiums. You would expect them maybe to use Sugar Ray Stadium in Claremont. There's even Christian Berg Stadium in Claremont as well. There's Princess Makoko in Kwamashu. But I guess that's a discussion that they should have with the PSL, you know. So yeah, let's go back to the footballing action. Let's leave the politics out of it. Back to the footballing action. Golden Arrows winning by 2-1. Zimbabwean striker Knox Mutizwa has found his scoring boots again. Knox Mutizwa. He just likes scoring against Kaizer Chiefs, doesn't he? He loves scoring against Kaizer Chiefs. Yeah, getting his brace in that one. So they took the lead in the first half, thanks to him, Knox Mutizwa. And then, yeah, that was poor again. Brandon Peterson. What a woeful season he's having. I don't know what to say, man, because, hey, man, yeah, his mistakes is really costing the team so much. You know, what a woeful season he's having. Not only in this game, he did it against Sundowns, twice against Mamelodi Sundowns, and in other games. Again, his woeful mistake costing the team. And Golden Arrows punished him, thanks to Knox Mutizwa getting the first goal of the game. So coming into this one, we did see Kaizer Chiefs make a few changes, and this was Kevin Johnson's first game in charge of the Glamour Boys. We saw a few changes. Christian Saile starting, Mduduzi Shabalala also coming into the starting lineup, as well as also Edson Castillo also returning to the starting lineup. Yeah, so we also saw the return of Sfiso Hlanti returning to the starting 11, as well as goalkeeper Brandon Peterson also returning to the starting lineup. So ahead of Itumele Nkune, Edmilson Dove, who's currently injured at the moment. We're not sure how long will he be out, as well as ahead of George Matlou, as well ahead of Ranga Chivaviro and Tebogo Potsane. It was a pretty decent starting lineup, but then unfortunately that goal did cost Chiefs a lot. It set their confidence below, but then they got back into the game thanks to two of the players that did return back into the squad. Edson Castillo setting up Sfiso Hlanti from a brilliant cross from a set piece. You know, it was basically a combination between Dolly and Castillo crossing the ball, and Hlanti with a powerful header finding the back of the net to give Kaizer Chiefs an equalizer. Although that, from my own perspective, from what I saw, it wasn't offside. Hey, yeah, Dstv Premiership, PSL. You just wonder when are they going to introduce VAR, because that was a clear offside. He was in an offside position, but I guess the winds of fortune did favor Kaizer Chiefs, but not for long. You know, they were said to be behind again in the second half. Knox Mutizwa, after they gave away possession in the midfield, losing the ball in the midfield, in the crucial area of the pitch, and they were punished again by Golden Arrows. Neat interchanging play, setting up Knox Mutizwa. This time, Brandon Peterson stood no chance of saving that ball. He stood no chance at all of saving that ball. Hey, man, but one thing Amakosi fans need to understand is that Kevin Johnson won't just change things overnight. There's a lot of things that really need to change in that Kaizer Chiefs team. A lot of things. In order for them to get their season back on track, they need to change a whole lot of things. A whole lot of things are going to have to change in that Kaizer Chiefs team. Kevin Johnson won't just change things overnight. Kaizer Chiefs fans need to understand that. He's not going to change things overnight. And Junior Kanye is right. I agree with him on that one. He's a great coach. Perhaps he might bring back the glory days to the club, but I think they need to be patient with him. You know, because There were a few positive signs from this game against Golden Arrows, Abafana Bestend, and understanding the fact that, surprisingly, in as much as most of us would hate to admit it, but surprisingly coming into this fixture, Kaizer Chiefs were the underdogs, man, because Golden Arrows is on form. They had a brilliant start to the season. Mabuti Kanyeza and his Chargers are really making things happen in this Dstv Premiership season. They're really making things happen, and you just wonder how long can they keep up with this momentum? How long? It's a great question to ask, man. How long can they keep up with this momentum? Great start by Abafana Bestend. And kudos to Mabuti Kanyeza and his troops. They really are making their presence felt, and they really are making a statement. Kudos to them. This win solidifies their position in second place. And wow, what a performance by them. What a performance by the team. And kudos to Golden Arrows again. And I remember Kaizer Chiefs coming into this one, they were also without Ashley Dupree as well. So maybe that's a big miss for them. It's a big miss for them. Yeah, it's a big miss. Well, we'll be in touch pretty soon, man. Thanks for tuning in, and hope you're doing well. Hope you're working hard. And we'll be in touch pretty soon, man. Cheers.
In defense, Temba Manchiani replaces Ntikelelo Ngati, who goes to the bench, and in goal, there's a return for Ismail Watenga. What about the formation? Tiko Modise, how will they play this one?
Titi, with this one, you'll see the three up front, which tells you that they're relying on speed. Van Roy on the left-hand side, Tolan, who scored such a brilliant goal here with Mutiza coming in as a sub in the previous game to give them that depth and speed going forward.
Let's take a look at what Kevin Johnson has done for his first match in charge. Well, as I said, he's rung the changes, 5 in total. Starting in goal, where Brandon Peterson comes back in place of Itubele Nkune. Ntutuzi Shabalala gets only his second start of season. And then there's also a return for Spiso Tanti, Edson Castillo in the starting lineup. And Pule Modi left out of the squad completely.
Yeah, this is a 4-4-3 rather from a Kaizer Chief. With Martin Teto Castillo, we'll be able to see Castillo making those late runs inside the ball, those crosses for the striker.
Shabalala, and that's a good ball out through to Frosla. Castillo thought about a shot, goes for the pass instead, and now beautiful ball floated in. Well read by Shitolo. Didn't have his best game. Now, Sibia. That's past the one marker, and then another pulls the trigger, but laid back by Tatayo Nedi Chokwe, who has got a new center. Whoa! Disaster! Can you believe it? Brandon Peterson again! This is extraordinary stuff. I cannot remember the last time I saw a goalkeeper make that many fatal mistakes, or mistakes that cost a goal.
Back, you can see this. It continues again. He has ample of time to play the ball out. He plays the back way so tight to the clock again. Look at the pass back, and of course he's no control over because the pitch is wet there. Of course, Mutiza is a striker that is lurking, but I think this could have been avoided. And here again, they got him punished for that.
It's a gift for Knox Mutizwa. The Chiefs have conceded first this season. Let's see what they can do then from a set piece. Castillo combining with Chancien! Immediate response. Poor marking and suitably punished. Castillo with the assist. And it's Dante who makes a return to the team with a goal. Well, that's a perfect response then.
It is a perfect response indeed. You look at the distance as well that we spoke a little bit earlier. Look at the aerial strength that Kaizer Chiefs have. This is the type of a game that sometimes you don't have to play good, you don't have to play nice. Just from Shanti.
Yeah, when they did everything perfectly, they heads it into the ground, makes it very difficult for the keeper.
Yeah.
Perfect execution. Great ball from Castillo.
Yeah, great ball fighting there. Watenga as well. I think those are the type of areas you need to possibly maybe anticipate, but you can't take any.
Fixture continues to deliver when it comes to goals. in the last 9 meetings between these two sides. Oh, another mistake at the back there. Ngobo dilly-dallying on the ball. The danger's not gone yet here. Mutizwa will look to bend it to the far post, but it took a deflection. Frosler, the keeper spilt it, and the chance still here. Saile gets around the keeper, tight angle, makes a mess of that one.
Yeah, but he reacted perfectly there. I think this is the first opportunity there for Kaizer Chiefs, where Golden Arrows are unable to clear the lines. Look at him, he spilled the ball, but look at the touch again. Shabalala, they couldn't connect with the ball very well. And Watenga as well made things difficult for Saile as well. So I think it was very, very good for Watenga there, but I think for Kaizer Chiefs, they could have done better. A little bit of calmness, a little bit of composure.
Shabalala is the other player who scored for Chiefs that day. Here he is on the ball now, too, Shabalala. Looking to turn Shitolo. The Mpumalanga Stadium. First corner of the game for Kaizer Chiefs. Keegan Dolly. You can see the wind. Oh, it bent that one. Arrows not clearing their lines. Banti very nearly running onto that one. Here's Dolly. Floating. Looking to get it to the back post. Banti! Looking to get a brace here. Comes to Shabalala again, and Dolly, nice interpassing here. Arrow staying compact. Yusuf Mard. It's opening up here now. Sbea could be in here. Ngobo will have to try and stop him in his tracks. Looking for the gap for a shot. Passed into the net by Knox Mutizwa. Carved open were Kaizer Chiefs. Mutizwa again. A brace in successive games against Chiefs.
Knox Mtizwa inside the box there, being free, but now Knox Mtizwa plays as a 10. He's not a striker anymore. He can come in and make those runs a little bit late. Look at the holding on to the ball, very clever. Just a pass there because he knows exactly, he can look at the ball, and also that combination and understanding between the two, I think is very, very dangerous. Golden Arrows again continue with that counter attack.
But look at the number of space for him, acres of it. Goes to the back post, and that's another one here! And it's a great save this time from Peterson. And Tepo Putsani comes in for his 6th appearance. Preparing a change. I saw Kevin Johnson is in conversation with George Mato. Saile waiting for support, but wrong option.
Wrong option indeed.
Did Mabudi Kenyeza. Banti, not a bad looking cross. Castillo's finds Yusuf Marta. Now Saile is in here. Tries to go across the face. Watenga again. Spills what looked like a routine catch there.
Yeah, I can see that. That covers Watenga very well, but it was a good run from Saile, taking that opportunity with his right. Not waiting for a chance, but Watenga could do better there.
No power behind the shot. It almost seems to scuff. Looking to avoid a second successive loss in the league. Kevin Johnson took them to second spot took Platinum Stars to second spot in his first full season in charge. And they finished 1 point behind Kaizer Chiefs at the end of that season. Devin Solomon's looking to get around. But this draw has really opened up now. But let's have a look at what's the here and now. They need to hold on here to shut this one out. Watenga. That's a great ball through here for Van Roy, who ran onto it beautifully. Botsani. The referee. Chiefs now. Time is running out for them. Going to the back post here. Ryan Moon helping out in his own box. That ball's still in play. Now, the cut back here and a chance to fire a shot in. Gets underneath it.
There, he couldn't hit the target, but you could see exactly what it is that he wanted to do. Golden Arrows again failing to clear the lines in the dying stage of the minute. Mahlo very composed, but you can see Castelli wanted to hit.
Now at the other end, Still in the danger, no goal, and no one has put it wide. A big man, it's not to be.
It's not to be indeed. I mean,
it looked like he was just in front there. I think it looked like he was a little bit offside because you can see Gordon Arrows plays a
in here. Ngose Mtetwa back mopping up. Nice touch. Beautifully done there. Good. Such composure from Mtetwa. There's another player who's not short on confidence. Oh, is the Potsdam going to be in trouble here? What color is the card going to be? It's yellow.
And then coming back to Saturday action, we traveled down to Eqabeja, the game between Chippa United and AmaZulu at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. That game resulting in a 1-1 draw. Drama. There was drama in that game. There was drama. Filled with so much drama. 2 red cards for Chippa United. They were reduced to 9 men. AmaZulu didn't capitalize on their 1-man advantage. But AmaZulu took the lead in the 27th minute thanks to Mbongeni Gumede, Upagatswayo, putting Usutu in the lead in the 27th minute. Brilliant header from him. Remember, bear in mind, Mbongeni Gumede did score in March this year against Chippa United, which was the winning goal at the very same ground. So he clearly does enjoy scoring against Chippa. He clearly does enjoy scoring at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium, which seems to be his favorite ground, apart from AmaZulu's home stadium, which is the Moses Mabhida Stadium that they do use for their home games. Remember, in the 12th minute, Chippa were reduced to 10 men. Libito was sent off after a very lousy challenge. I think that was a deserved red card in the first half, which reduced Chippa United to 10 men. In the fifth, I think it was, no, not in the first half, the 56th minute of the game. I meant to say, sorry. In the first half, Chippa scored. They were supposed to take the lead in the 12th minute as striker Cambindo scored, but unfortunately the goal was ruled out by offside before AmaZulu took the lead in the 27th minute. And then in the 56th minute of the game, Libito was sent off after a very horror challenge on Muremi, in which Muremi, speaking of the very same Muremi, AmaZulu could have been like 2-0 ahead. They could have been 2-0 ahead. Had Muremi kept his composure, he could have easily have slotted that ball into the back of the net. But because of that, you understand, he was clear on goal. You understand? I think it was an empty net. From what I could see, it was an empty net. But hey, clinical, just composure, lack of composure is all that's needed. Just being composed, cool, calm and collected, and just find the precision. Remain precise when you're in front of goal. Those are the kind of chances that can cost a team a season. Because those were 3 easy points for AmaZulu. 3 easy points that they could have gotten, that they messed up. And we don't know how costly that could be. Because sometimes when you miss, clear-cut opportunities like that, it can cost you so much in terms of your league season. Remember now, if you don't, 3 points are very important. Especially now heading into the second half of the season, understanding the fact that now we are approaching the end of the year, you have to understand that, you have to take all your opportunities. Make sure you get as many points as you can get, so that at least you can finish in a decent place on the table, And then Chippa did get an equalizer, Velimoto, spilling the ball. He was complaining of being fouled, but he clearly spilled the ball. He saved it. And then he just spilled it. He rolled it back into his own net. That just didn't make sense. It honestly did not make sense. It didn't make sense. But yeah, that was the drama. Then Chippa were reduced to 9 men. In the 90th minute, Gambindo sent off. I don't know what was the issue there, but yeah, that was just the drama in the game. Drama in the game. As well as if you look back at AmaZulu's goal, there were a lot of glimpses of a possible offside. Looked like an offside to me. Mbongeni Gumede looked to be offside, in an offside position, when he did slot that ball into the back of the net. I guess maybe we do need an introduction of VAR in our South African football. We do need VAR, I guess, because we see a lot of mistakes from officials. We see poor officiating is on the rise. Poor officiating is on the rise, which is even affecting the beauty of our game. Yeah, but that was a great call to rule out the first goal. That was scored by Chipper in the 12th minute. That was a great call. It was Gambino was in a clear offside position. Great call. Although Mbongeni Gumede was also offside as well, but it wasn't called out. I guess it's another question of the officiating. Going into the next games, which took place on Sunday, the 28th of October. The first one took place between TS Galaxy and Sekhukhune United at the Mbombela Stadium in Nelspruit. That was a great game to watch. Obviously, being TS Galaxy were heavily dominant in that game. Remember, these two sides are going to meet in the quarterfinals of the Carling Knockout Cup. So this is just like a first of many meetings between these two sides. Coming into this one, it was difficult to tell which team would come out tops, but TS Galaxy were the team that showed intention. I mean, a great goal by Kagiso Sibilibele, putting the Rockets 1-0 ahead in the 12th minute. Sibilibele made a great run. Oh, he made a dazzling run. That run was so dazzling, you could tell that, wow, man, wow. Dazzling run by Sibilibele to put them in the lead. And what a great goal. Great goal. Dazzling run. Just the finish, the goal was just an icing on the cake after that dazzling run that he made. Great goal by Kagiso Sibilibele. We hope to see more. And TS Galaxy were heavily dominant. We saw Mahlangu had an opportunity. It hit the post. They created so many chances. We saw the header was saved from a corner. They were just all over Sekhukhune. Babina Noko were nowhere to be seen in the first half in the game. They were nowhere to be seen at all. Nowhere to be seen. And then guess what? Samir Nurkovic coming off the bench, scoring a cracker. Thunderbolt from like 40 meters outside of the box. 40 meters outside of the box. Thunderbolt, Samir Nurkovic still has it in him. He just needs to be more consistent, find his scoring touch at the Rockets. Wow, what a thunderbolt. Thunderbolt by Samir Nurkovic. That's why Amakosi fell in love with him at first. It was a pity that he couldn't keep up with that momentum at Amakosi. He just couldn't keep it up. But wow, what a thunderbolt from 40 meters out. What a way to score your first goal for the club. What a way, man. Kokota Piano. That was a brilliant goal by Samir Nurkovic. A thunderbolt. I will show it. You will see it at the end of this analysis of mine. You will see that goal. Brilliant goal. Perhaps a contender for goal of the season. In my opinion, it is a contender for goal of the season. That is definitely a contender for goal of the season. I'm yet to see a better goal than that one. And then we head and then this victory sees TS Galaxy move up to 8th position. They now leapfrog Amazulu and Kaizer Chiefs, going into 8th position in the league standings. Great. Wow. You understand? That's why I mentioned the importance of collecting as many points, because there's a lot of competition. We know that Mamelodi Sundowns are already the runaway leaders, so no one will catch them. 100% record so far. So TS Galaxy have now leapfrogged Amazulu and Kaizer Chiefs into 8th position. You understand? So we just hope that they can keep up with the momentum, and we'll see how far they can go and keep up with this performance. Remember, they've now done it without their veteran star player Bernard Parker, who's currently out on injury. Speedy recovery to him, and he is a fighter, strong fighter. We saw after that horror injury that he suffered, after that horror tackle by Bongani Zungu in the Carling Knockout Cup game against Sundowns. You understand? So now let's head to Natal. Richards Bay taking on Cape Town City at the Kings Welitini Stadium. So Cape Town City were victors. They won the game by 3-1. That victory sees Cape Town City, it takes them to 4th position on the standings, right? And wow, this is now a rejuvenated Kanyisa Mayo. You understand? He has now scored 5 goals in 6 games, in his previous 6 games. You understand? He hasn't had a strong start to the season. He has been struggling in the beginning of the season. We've even seen him on bench, being benched by Eric Tinkler. But now we see the Kanyisa Mayo that we all love, that we all saw last season. That glimpses of Kanyisa Mayo, who was the top goal scorer in the PSL, alongside Peter Shalulile of Mamelodi Sundowns. You understand? So Kanyisa Mayo has now scored 5 goals in his previous 6 games in all competitions. Bear in mind, this was his second consecutive assist. You understand? So let us get straight into the game. Cape Town City did take the lead 1-0, thanks to great work by the Colombian striker Darwin Gonzalez, who has been a great asset to the Citizens. He made a dazzling run on the left, eliminating a defender, sending a cross straight into the box, low cross. We saw Tahir Khudaman. Shot was saved. You would expect Khudaman to do a bit better, but luckily, on the rebounded effort, Jaden Rhodes, 20-year-old midfielder Jaden Rhodes, pounced on and put the ball into the back of the net. Wow. Hey, in this Cape Town City team, we're seeing young stars on the rise, young players. Khudaman, Jaden Rhodes, we're seeing a lot of young stars on the rise. And these youngsters, they really are doing well, man. They really are doing well, and they really are stepping to the plate. They really are making most of the chances that they have been given. Jaden Rhodes is only 20 years old. He's only 20 years old, and based on his style of play, wow. He's a player who he plays without fear. He's so confident in his ability. What a player. Great player. He is certainly one to look out for. He did get his brace after a lovely pass by Kanyisa Mayo. Lovely weighted pass by Kanyisa Mayo. Brilliant pass by Mayo, setting up Jaden Rhodes. He slotted the ball coolly, calmly, and wow, he was so collected. Scoring a brace. And then the game was done and dusted in the first half, man. Stoppage time of the first half. Kanyisa Mayo again getting his name onto the score sheet against his former club. From a free kick, from a set piece. Again, it was a rebounded effort. Kanyisa Mayo was there at the right place at the right time, slotting the ball into the back of the net to make it 3-0. Game was set and done and dusted. Game set, done and dusted. Kudos to Cape Town City, because this win sees them move into 4th position. As for Richards Bay, their woes continue. Luckily, they did get a great consolation goal in the 52nd minute thanks to Sanele Barnes. Great free kick by Sanele Barnes. Wonderful set piece. Great free kick. Another contender for goal of the season. That was a great free kick by Sanele Barnes. You understand? But then I guess the Natal Rich boys, their woes continue. They've got the 2nd worst record in the PSL so far this season. Just after Cape Town Spurs. Cape Town Spurs are yet to even win a single game this season. You understand? So, the Natal Rich boys have a lot of work to do. Their woes just continue. And we hope to see rejuvenation from the Natal Rich boys. Maybe a bit of activity in the January transfer window can do something for them. Their fortunes can change, but it only remains to be a mystery to see that happen. We hope to just see maybe new players signing for the team, just to add a bit of some depth to the squad, add some energy, add some enthusiasm to their fortunes, so that at least their fortunes can change and avoid relegation. Because right now at this current moment in time, it's between them and Cape Town Spurs. But obviously, from my own perspective, I feel like Cape Town Spurs are already relegated. Losing all 8 games, losing all your games so far this season, I don't see any way back for Cape Town Spurs. Perhaps a miracle is on the cards, but we'll just see. That just remains to be a mystery. It remains to be a mystery. I'm not sure if there's ever been a team that has lost all their games, all their beginning games, like almost 10 games going into a season, and they've lost all their games and have still been able to survive in top flight football. I'm yet to see that in any part of the world. Maybe Cape Town Spurs can pull off a fairy tale finish to the season. We'll see. But in order for that to happen, they have to win the remainder of all their games, which is also highly unlikely, but they have to. They have to. They have no choice. So I hope you enjoyed this video, man. I hope you enjoyed my analysis. Please also make your own analysis. Please also watch the highlights. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and please also, please join the community and let's grow the community together, man. We'll be in touch pretty soon. Cheers. Hope you have a good day.
Back now is playing at left back position. It's Norkovic. Oh! World class! World class from Norkovic. The sub has arrived. Hasn't scored this season. What a way to score your